Thanks for joining me. I must say that football is bad for your nerves. Whoa. Towards the end of that match, thanks for joining me after the game at Old Trafford tonight. Wolves managed to avoid defeat for only the third time this season at Old Trafford on the 30th of December 2025, where it finished Man United 1, Wolves 1. The first thing to say is that Rob Edwards had to shuffle the pack, a couple of enforced changes after the booking at the weekend for Andre, and he had to be replaced, and then Santiago Bueno, the top scorer as he was, he was injured, so he had to be replaced. So the manager started with a few changes, enforced changes. Sarr still kept his place in goal, and then it was Mosquera, Doherty and Krejci, the centre halves, Chachua, the right fullback, and Hugo Bueno, and then in midfield Arias, João Gomez and Mane, and up front Tolu and Wang. But they've given the goal 27 minutes to Xerxes, but really it was an own goal because the goalie was going the right way and it sent him the wrong way, wrong-footed him. You could see from his reaction he punched the ground. And that's Krejci's second own goal because he scored one at Sunderland a couple of months ago in a 2-0 defeat. But credit to Wolves. We know that, it's relegation's almost certainty, but we're playing for pride. We put in the worst performance ever up to this point. And so at least we've got 3 points now. Man United not taking anything away for Wolves, but you could tell from their lineup. I know they had about four away in the African Nations Trophy, and they had a few injuries. But I went the other week when they beat us 4-1 at Molineux the night when there were protests. But it was they took us lightly. You could see from the side what they changed, what they played. Diogo Dalot, Heaven, Martinez, Shaw, Casemiro, Ugarte, Xerxes, Mateus Cunha. I'm glad he didn't score. Dorgu and Sesko. But Wolves we gave really as good as we got, because quite a few matches the other teams have totally dominated possession, but it was not so tonight. But we were very competitive, and I really thought beforehand that this was going to be our first win of the season, and it looked like towards in the second half that Mosquera missed a great chance, but when you look at it, the goalie just got there to him in front of it when there was a snapshot by Krejci. But I must say I was surprised that Tolu was replaced by Larson, but he must have, the only thing I can think of is he must have took a knock, or is he still not match fit after all this time? And the manager agreed that he was going to, because he played just a few days ago, that he was only going to play for an hour or so. I don't know, but whatever reason, it looked strange. Tolu didn't look injured and he didn't look happy to come off. And it was frustrating because even Wang and Tolu, when they got the ball, they held it up. But Strand Larsen, he got a booking. He gave the ball away, and when when the ball broke to him, he couldn't hold the ball up and relieve the pressure on the team and give it to a teammate. He lost the ball every time. I don't want to unnecessarily single him out, but it was stark. It was obvious. It was blatant. The January transfer window's coming up. Without overreacting, I don't think we'd miss him. We could afford to let him go. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, and knowing what we know now, with that offer from Newcastle, we should have snapped their hand off. I know we didn't think so at the time, but looking at it now, that would have been a fine decision, because he's got one Premier League goal this season, and the fees, what they're talking about him, is 40 million euros, which is a bit of a come down to the 60 plus million that Newcastle were offering. But we went in at half time 1-1 and almost equal share of the possession and more shots on targets than them. But there were a couple of schoolboy errors which could have cost us the match. There was Saar, he held on to the ball more than 11 seconds, and Man United got a corner as well. And there was one after about 81 minutes where Mosquera did a foul throw and he was penalised. Another good thing for Wolves is that Burnley lost, West Ham drew, Nottingham Forest lost. We got Nottingham Forest on Saturday. We're obviously going to state the obvious, but we really need to win, and hopefully, because it was another good away performance, that might give us a bit of confidence. But we've said that before. Every away performance has deserved something, and we finally did get it this time. But not before another heart-stopping moment when it was Dorgu. He had one disallowed in just before the 90 minutes was up. We thought, no, please, no. But thankfully, he couldn't hold his line and he strayed offside. And thankfully, we got away with that one. Not got away with that one because it was rightly disallowed. So, man of the match, maybe Krejci. He's now leading top scorer with 2 goals. Our 2 leading top scorers in the league are Krejci and Bueno, 2 centre halves. Again, as I said on Saturday, what does that tell you about our strikers if our top scorers are 2 centre halves? But yeah, so the weekend, hopefully we'll shake off that burden of being underperformers in front of our home crowd when we take on Nuno's West Ham. That'll be the 3rd of January. Will we make any moves early in the window? We've got to, or will we leave it late? The last few seasons, we got Agbadu, and we got Nasser Giga, who's turned out to be a flop, and Monetti. We got them in the transfer window. Another window before, we got Mario Lemina. We got Dawson. And we've had João Gomez. So we've done well in January transfer windows and really need to do so again. But it was a relief. We could have done with a win, obviously, but going away to Old Trafford is always a big ask, especially with the squad what we got. But at least it's a bit more confidence for us, and hopefully it's a springboard onto better things. But we definitely need to put a good run together, and hopefully we've got a good strategy in place for the transfer windows. But thanks for joining me. Up the Wolves, win, lose or draw, they're our lads. Come on, Wolves. Thanks.